If you're not familiar with EOS, here's the definition. EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, is a complete set of simple concepts and practical tools that has helped thousands of entrepreneurs get what they want from their business. Implementing EOS will help you and your leadership team get better at these three things: vision, traction, and health.
So if I were to like define EOS and like talk about those three things, EOS is not this like system where you're like, oh, wow, I've never heard of these ways to run my business. There's nothing profound in EOS. It's all of the best business practices that probably a lot of people have heard about and read, that have been written about by very, very smart businessmen like Jim Collins and stuff like that. And basically what EOS does is it takes all of those best business practices and it just assembles it into a system, and so that's
really where the magic is the system that it puts into place.
Exactly.
There's no one part of the system where it's like, wow, remarkable.
Yeah. I never thought about putting a vision together, or I never thought of how to run he just assembles a system, which is great unto itself. But there's nothing that's going to be profound. It's just kind of the way everything works together that really puts the light bulb above your head, and it's like, yeah, this is what I should be doing instead of the way that I've been doing it in the past.
And a little disclaimer: when you hear operating system, you think like Android or your Apple operating system. This has nothing to do with any software or technology or anything.
No, you can do everything with pen and
anything.
paper if you wanted to.
It's verbal.
Yeah.
So, but EOS recommends using a professional or certified EOS implementer to lead, the weekly, quarterly, annual meetings. Who is the implementer at your business, Jason?
We've always used Clark Nohef.
Okay.
Yeah, and he actually had his own consulting business, and then he transitioned over to EOS. And we've thought about here at MakingChips about offering implementer services for EOS. So if there's manufacturers out there that are think that that's a good idea, you should let us know, because we've been thinking about getting somebody trained up here to do that.
But who leads your weeklies?
I do.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
And then the quarterlies, you do.
I do.
It's the annuals that you bring in, Clark.
No, he comes in for the quarterlies and everything too.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
Just not the weeklies.
No, of course not. Yeah. No, you have to do that yourself.
Okay.
So yeah,
How about you, Nick?
Since we're talking about it, let's define that. So you have when you first kick off EOS, you go through a vision and focus thing, right? So it's like a 2 or 3 day deal where you're establishing.
You're just kind of like setting the foundation.
Yeah.
Who's your leadership team, and then all the processes
and then after you get running, you have a big annual meeting every year.
You do,
and you've got large but not quite as big quarterly meetings. And then every week, or in my case, we do it every 2 weeks, we have what's called an L10 meeting.
Oh, you're at AME, you're only doing your L10s every other week?
Yeah, because we have so many different business units, it's just crazy to do it every single week for us. But yeah. In our business units, we have a business unit manager who fills more of what EOS calls like the integrator role. So he's more like in the day-to-day, keeping the structure together, managing the day-to-day business, more operational, procedural type role, like more of a manager.
Okay.
And then his counterpart, as the two leaders of each business unit, is a business development leader, and that person fills more of like a visionary role. So he's more, what's the next big thing? How do I solve this big complex problem? Where am I going to find the next big opportunity in the field? And he's more of kind of a
the strategic guy.
Yeah, visionary guy. Well, they're both strategic, but in different ways. So to answer your question, who leads through the meetings? The more managerial person, which is the business unit manager.
Okay.
They lead through the meetings.
But your role is not an implementer at all?
No. I mean, I do it with you guys, and then I try to sit in on all of these meetings with all the business units, and I just try to like make sure that the whole EOS system is operating, the way that it should.